Hello and welcome to our channel. This time we will be presenting Virus 2 Evolution, an expansion for virus. Viruses have mutated and become more resistant, so we will need experimental medicines, quarantine periods, and many more crazy treatments to deal with them. Let's see what Virus 2 Evolution is about. Apart from the manuals in English, Spanish and French, we find 35 cards, 2 of which you can customize as you wish. There is also an additional organ of each color. This expansion also brings a new organ. The bionic organ cannot be infected by any type of virus or treated using any kind of medicine. However, it can be affected by some treatments. Bear in mind that with this new organ your body can have a total of 6 different organs, if we take into account the multicolored organ from the original virus. But to win the game, you only need 4 healthy organs in your body. Then, there are new evolved virus cards. These viruses are more resistant and basic medicines don't affect them. To get rid of them, you will need to use experimental medicines. You can also use some treatments to destroy them. As we have just mentioned, we also find experimental medicine cards. They allow you to protect your organs against both basic and experimental viruses. But you can only use them with organs and viruses of the same color. New treatments have also been included in this expansion. These cards can help you win, since you can use them to try to slow down your opponents in their quest to complete their body before you do. As in the original virus, this expansion includes new multicolored cards that function as wildcards. The multicolored evolved virus can affect any type of organ and destroy any type of medicine, but it can only be cured with experimental medicines of any color. Multicolored experimental medicines can immunize any organ and cure any type of virus, irrespective of their color, but they can be destroyed by evolved viruses of any color. The game setup is very simple. We should first shuffle the Virus 2 Evolution cards with the ones of the original game. Then, deal 3 cards to each player. Place the bottom part of the box, known as the quarantine zone, within the reach of all players, and we would be ready to start. Virus 2 Evolution follows the basic rule of virus, but it includes a few cards that modify the game. If we decide to play an evolved virus card, we can perform any of the following 3 actions. Infect an organ. To do it, place an evolved virus card on a free organ of the same color. The infected organs are not considered healthy, therefore you cannot use it to complete your body. We can also surgically remove an organ by placing a second virus on an infected organ. That organ is destroyed and the 3 cards must be placed on the discard pile. You can surgically remove an organ by playing an evolved virus on top of a basic one, or the other way around. You can also do it by using 2 evolved viruses. Last, we can destroy a back sign. Simply play a virus card on a backsign card. Use an evolved virus to neutralize the effects of a basic medicine of the same color. Both cards are then placed on the discard pile. With the new experimental medicine cards, there are also 3 possible actions. On the one hand, we can cure organs by destroying basic and evolved viruses. Both cards will be placed on the discard pile. We may also immunize one of our organs, that is, to fully protect it against the attacks of viruses. To do it, place an experimental medicine card on a previously vaccinated organ. To indicate that the organ is immunized, the 2 medicine cards will be rotated next to the immunized organ. Finally, an organ can be super-immunized. Experimental medicines are so powerful that allow you to immunize a healthy organ instantly, just by placing a card on them. Now let's have a look at the treatment cards. The Overtime card allows players to use the 3 cards of their hand. They will have to draw a hand of 3 cards at the end of their turn. With the Second Opinion card, players can swap their hand with another player and they may play one of the received cards, but not discard them. The other player will start their turn with the number of cards they were handed. When players use the Hazmat Suit, they avoid the effect of any card played against them during another player's turn. The opponent must then choose a different player to play the card on, including themselves. If they cannot find a valid target, they will discard the card with no effect. Do not draw cards after playing this card. Players will start the next turn with 1 card less. You cannot use a Hazmat Suit against another one. If the card affects all players, it will affect all of them except you. Finally, we find the Quarantine card. With it, players can remove a virus card from the game by isolating it in quarantine. Discard a virus card, basic or evolved, from one of your body's organs into the box. The removed virus will remain out of play for the rest of the game. These are all the new cards included in this expansion for Virus. Players will continue taking turns until one completes their body with 4 healthy organs of different colors. There are 2 game modes. On the one hand, the Epidemic mode is designed to speed up 6-player games. Every time players use an experimental medicine to cure a virus, basic or evolved, they must discard the card from the game. The card will remain inside the quarantine zone until the end of the game. On the other hand, the Duel mode makes 2-player games a little bit harder. Players should gather 5 healthy organs to complete their body. The new cards that this expansion adds make the game even much more fun and exciting, since the new treatment cards increase competition among players. Now you have more cards to defend yourself and annoy your opponents. At first, it may take a while to remember exactly what each card does, but after a few games you will have already memorized them. This new twist adds more intensity to the game, spicing up the original rules. You can decide which cards to use and which cards not to use, making the game different each time. Perhaps the fact that an experimental medicine can automatically immunize an organ speeds up the end of the game a little bit, although it depends on the skill of your opponents and how wisely they use their treatments. We are convinced by this new expansion for Virus. What do you think? We hope to read your comments, and remember, if you want to be up to date with our latest videos, subscribe to the channel and click the bell. We will continue playing in our next videos.